If you found this video, it's because you are seeking change, and change is seeking you. I'm gonna put this disclaimer really quick because I don't want to get sued, okay? And I'll put the timestamp here so you can go ahead and skip it if you want. But basically what I'm gonna say is I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not any of these things. I'm just a girl with a phone. Don't take it seriously. This is entertainment purposes. I'm a random woman. I'm not responsible for you. Don't sue me. Your brain likes what's familiar, even if it's not what you want or what makes you feel safe, okay? And when your brain is running off of old subconscious beliefs, those subconscious beliefs lead into the same thoughts, lead into the same behaviors, lead into the same conversations, lead into the same outcomes, lead into the same life. So a lot of people think, I want to change my life, and they go out and they try to change from the outside, but ultimately they run into the same patterns and scenarios. Why is that? Why does it feel like it's the same girls having poor relationships, or good people who are stuck suffering, or people who feel like this is just the way it is, this is what's realistic? But in this same world where someone is saying this is unrealistic and someone's unhappy, there's an alternate version where someone is living their dream life, where someone is getting the career they want. How can those extremes live in the same reality? The answer is they don't. They don't. Because these two extremes, these two people, they're thinking opposite thoughts repetitively of each other. To each other? Whatever. And I'm a person who feels deep empathy, okay? So I'm not here to say or victim blame anybody or say, oh, you're the reason why you have this, this, and that. We're all born. We don't know why we're born. We don't know why we're born, okay? We don't know why all the time, and that's okay. And if you're going through harsh circumstances, know that I also went through harsh circumstances, and you might even be going through harsher. But I want to give this advice because I want to show people that change is possible. If you're seeking change, that is because change is seeking you. And I'll tell you what. Have you ever had a circumstance where you thought a song in your head and that song played on the radio, or you thought about somebody and suddenly they reached out to you after a long time? Or you go into a store and you see the exact item that you've been wanting, that you've been seeing on Instagram. That is not a coincidence. And how you can test and know for yourself that it's not a coincidence, because at the end of the day, I could just yap, but it won't work until you apply it, is the ladder method, okay? If you've ever heard of Neville Goddard or anyone adjacent, like Joseph, whatever his face, sorry, King, King, you ever heard of these people? There's this thing that Neville Goddard specifically teaches. It's the ladder method. And basically, before you go to bed, okay, your state akin to sleep, okay, you imagine in your mind that you're climbing a ladder every night until basically you feel like you've impressed it in your mind. And throughout that week, you're gonna eventually climb a ladder, even if in your conscious reality you say, I'm not gonna climb this stupid ladder. This is stupid. This is stupid. Because you're still intellectually lazy and you don't realize that. Sorry, not to call you out, but clock it. Because negativity is easy. And this is the part that this is the part that gets me, is when people think that they're being so smart by saying, well, this is illogical, blah, 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 blah. Because in your head, you're thinking logic is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Which, that's what we're taught, right? But how can it be that in the same reality that you're telling me that that isn't logical, you're not getting what you want, and in that same reality, there's someone who's winning the lottery? And in that reality, there's someone who just got their dream job. In that reality, there's someone who got their dream apartment. How can those two things exist at once? It's because you're deciding in your reality that realistic is equal to negativity. Clock it. And here's my personal experience with it, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be a ladder, okay? I'm not the guy who created the ladder method, okay? So don't come at me. But anyways, it could literally be anything. Like, I chose something super hyper specific in my case because I wanted to ensure that I knew it wasn't a coincidence. Because I'm not gonna lie, when you are beginning to manifest or change your reality, I think the notion that comes with manifesting is people automatically think, oh, woo-woo, crazy, because for some reason, the idea or the possibility of even having or attaining something more than what the world has told you is scary because you've never done it before. And you don't even realize you're scared of your own success. I don't know why I did that face. But you are scared of your own success, whether you realize it or not. And that's why you feel like you can't get the dream car, or you can't get the dream job, or you can't get your dream partner. It's not actually because you can't. It's because you're deciding that you can't. So what is the difference between you and a lotto winner? your mentality. So really listen to my testimony when I tell you this, okay? I'm not selling you a course. I have nothing to gain from telling my story or telling you why I personally manifest, okay? I literally say it because it's a lifestyle and I know that someone out there needs it. So, my case, when I was learning how to manifest for the first time, I kept getting opposite results. And I could make a separate video on this because really, I didn't realize that I was creating those opposite results. But anyways, I literally just wanted to prove to myself, because I would see YouTubers and I would be like, well, why can she manifest so easily? Because I would see it, like they would have the physical example. I manifested this jacket. I literally looked in the store 4+ times looking for this specific jacket and they never had it. And then all of a sudden on my birthday, I happened to have a gift card, okay? And they have this jacket with the gold trim, even better than the one I had on my Pinterest. And I know it's because I manifested that. Because why? Before I started doing affirmations, I could not find it no matter what. I went into several stores at several locations, okay? I really tried. So when people say, oh, well, you just bought this, blah, 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 not you invalidating me because you don't believe in yourself. Oh! Yeah, mom. So basically, one of my first experiences consciously manifesting a very specific thing, like I was specifically manifesting seeing a fuchsia car, because I was like, how often do you see a pink car, and let alone like I don't know, like a hot pink car, like just more of like a, like people, I feel like this shade is more common, especially with newer trends, but like specifically fuchsia, I was like, nobody, like, how, what are the odds? Higher than you think. So literally, my mom spontaneously woke me up and said, oh, we're gonna go on a trip to visit your cousins. I said, girl, what? And on that trip, I literally see multiple fuchsia cars. And even my mom points it out. She's like, huh. But it was a good drive. Like, it was like an 8-hour drive. What do you mean multiple fuchsia cars? That's really to say, I had to prove it to myself in the most specific ways. Okay? Because until you really analyze, because you could just think linearly, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about, oh, this is not realistic. If that's not realistic, then how come there's so many people getting their dream jobs? If that's not realistic, how come every YouTuber that we've seen that started, like I Show Speed, he had a video where he was like, oh, I only have this amount of followers, I hope to have this amount of followers in 5 years. Or Mr. Beast, he said, oh, I hope to have this amount of followers in a couple years. The only difference, literally, stop thinking you're average. I hate this, and I'm getting mad at you, because why on earth would you think you're average? You're only average because you make that so, or because someone else convinced you that you had to be average to make them more comfortable. Forget it. Forget what you know. Because the only difference is literally your mentality. Is literally you're training your subconscious to be able to seek out the experiences you want. Training your subconscious to make yourself more comfortable, to show up as a version of yourself that you want. Because literally before manifestation, I wanted to post so badly. I wanted to post on my YouTube channel just like this, how I'm doing now. But the only difference, like, and I have the same personality, to be honest. Like, I haven't changed much. Like, I've grown, but I haven't changed, okay? And when I think back, I really think I could have done this so much earlier if I even believed the possibility of me being worthy. Not even me being 100% sure that I'm worthy, okay? Even the possibility. Why would you degrade yourself to that level where you don't even believe in the possibility of you being different? If you feel it in your heart, that's because that's your truth. And that's not to be like, oh, you gotta gaslight everyone. Get those doubts out of your head, okay? Because those doubts are literally someone else's voice. To see how much my circle has changed too, and how many other people also believe in manifesting, and how many people that like I have that are mutuals that are going on their dream vacations, getting their dream things. This is not a coincidence, bro. They want to teach you that it's a coincidence so that you don't ever see your potential. They want you to believe it's a coincidence. They want you to believe you're not being realistic. They want that. Because if you can do it, then you highlight someone else's inability, which is really just their belief that they're unable to do it. The brighter the light, the darker the shadow. If your light is so bright and you're so loud with who you are, that's going to disturb someone who literally lives for other people. You want to live for other people? If you don't believe a single word that's coming out of my mouth, great. Try it. Because I don't have to convince you anything. You have to see it for yourself instead of, because commenting is so easy. You know how easy it is to make a hate comment? All you have to do is echo someone else. All you have to do is echo your mom, your dad, or anyone who made you feel some type of way. But actually consciously making steps towards what you want to accomplish, bettering yourself, that's hard. It definitely gets easy, but that initial jump, that's hard. So entertain the possibility. Just entertain it in your mind for one night and see what changes in your reality. Because even if it's a small change, you will know in your heart you created that change. And that in the past, you were creating your own stagnancy. Okay? And that's not to blame anyone. Okay? No blame, no shame. Okay? No blame, no shame. We all been there. It's okay. Even if you feel like you don't know what the answer is, that's okay. Because the important part is if you feel that resonance in your soul with what I'm saying, the important part is you're already there. You're ready to where you want to be because you have the awareness. All that manifesting is just shifting your awareness. You've already manifested by just watching me. Yeah. So be proud of yourself. Stop believing other NPCs. You know how much courage it takes to get on a camera and say your own original thoughts despite criticism, but despite online trolls, just saying your thoughts because that's what you believe in? I have nothing to gain, bro. Try it yourself. Stop waiting on the sidelines and expecting to hit a goal. You know I ate.